looks like, yeah. But that's a good thing. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I mean, I've got a few brief questions. How did the conversation start between you and Nico?
yeah, it actually started through Instagram.
Did he
So,
really?
yeah, so Nico dropped me a direct message on Instagram, and yeah, from there on, he just asked me for the contacts, and then I gave him the contacts, and then yeah, he just briefly dropped me a message about what it's all about, what he had in mind, and from there on, it was quite straightforward. A couple of weeks later, it was quite straightforward and happened very quickly. So yeah, it was pretty straightforward.
Fair enough. That sounds good. So, what made you decide to drive in Extreme E?
I think it is a very interesting project. It's something which is more than just motorsport. It has a great message. So I think that was quite interesting, and definitely in the right time to do something in that direction within motorsports. So and then obviously, I mean, to be a part of Rosberg X Racing as well with team Nico as a team leader or as a CEO. So and I was a fan of Nico from when he was racing in Formula One. So
Okay.
when you see him as involved as he is, and he called me late night and was talking very passionate about this project and all this stuff, and then you understand that he is also very involved and really passionate about to make this good. And then from when I've seen what Nico has achieved in Formula One, you know that when he's getting into something, that it's going to be something good. So yeah, if you like to win, you should be among people which has been winning in the past and also like to win. So then you know that you assemble a team which is a bunch of winners. So that's where I like to be.
Good. No, it sounds good. What was it like when you first drove the car? Obviously, coming from sort of rallying and things like that, electric being a big sort of jump in essence, isn't it? Because two different worlds.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I've done many things in the past. I'm originally from circuit racing, and then I've done rallycross, and then I've done some rally. And actually, I've done some rally and circuit racing in the last couple of years to be a better rallycross driver. But it also made me a more versatile driver in trying to collect as much knowledge from the different classes, and that is something which is very good when you jump into something new again, because I've done so many new things in the past that you learn a certain way to try to adapt and learn something very quickly, which I think is very important in Extreme E when you have so limited amount of driving. And when I jumped into the car, you always have an idea of what to expect.
It seems to. Can you hear me, Johan? No.
I think he's muted. Technical issues. Maybe he swore. Maybe the bleeper came into effect.
No, still can't hear you.
No?
Yeah, there you go.
All of a sudden, it said that my Apple AirPods was connected.
Oh.
Can you hear me now? I wonder if it.
Yeah, no, I can hear you now. Yeah, nice and clear.
No, now it's in the Apple AirPods. So I don't know why they suddenly jumped into the AirPods, but okay. Where was I?
Saying about just when you first got into the car.
Exactly. Yeah, I had an idea of how the car will feel like and stuff like that. And the car is huge. I mean, the car, when I saw the car the first time live, it's massive. It's very high, it's very wide, and the car is heavier than the cars I've driven in the past. So, but first, when I started to drive, the car feels much more reactive and nimble than what it looks like. And obviously, looking on the car, I expected it to be a bit lazy and feel a bit heavy, but it felt more racy than I expected. So, but at the same time, driving on a test road or a test facilities is going to be something completely different from when you drive on the race. So,
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, looking forward to start racing against the others.
Good. And how is it with an automatic gearbox? Obviously, with electric cars, that's how they are. Does it feel like you've got less sort of control over the car when you're driving?
I think I didn't think about it much, but what I think is a bit tricky is the reference of speed towards braking points, and especially directly after the braking point, going into the corner, because you don't really have any gear to listen. You know that you are in second gear at this RPM, more or less. You know what speed it is, so it's a little bit more difficult to anticipate what speed you're actually traveling in. I think that was the biggest like thing to adapt to. But at the same time, that's a little bit something which is coming after driving more and more rally, because there you don't really drive from the gears either. So when you do circuit racing only, you know that this corner is a fifth gear corner and this is a second gear and third gear, so on. But in rally, you more or less you go up and down through the gears quite quickly and not really thinking about the gears. So I think I will adapt to that quite quickly.
So what do you think is going to be your biggest challenges over the Extreme E season?
I think that's the $1 million question, because that's what everyone is thinking about and trying to prepare for. So there's so many new things and no one really know what to expect either, because we haven't really seen the tracks. We haven't seen, we don't know exactly how the race format will be. Yes, we know, but we don't know exactly how it will be. So there's many new things to which is still unknown. So I think the only thing we can do is to be prepared for the unknown. I think that is like, be prepared for anything, and also prepared to be able to adapt quickly. So I think that's my best tip.
Sounds good. We briefly had a chat with Molly earlier. What, it's a team sport, obviously. Do you think there's going to be, you're both going to be very competitive? Do you think there's going to be a sort of little rivalry behind the scenes of who can get round the lap quicker? Or
no, I don't think so. No,
No.
I don't. I think I mean, from working the 2 days with Molly that I've done so far on the testing, I think everything has been running very smoothly. And I mean, normally within a team, at least the teams that I've been in before, it's always been working very well together with the teammate. And I've driven in the past. Back in, I think, 2013, I was driving some endurance racing when you drive the same car. Two drivers are driving the same car, but since then I've been only having like normal teammates, which been working very well together off track, on track as well, but not driving the same car. So I think that's a little bit the teamwork that's going into it, and I think we really have to try work together and adapt as quick as possible, and making that as a team, the drivers in between, but also together with the team and engineers, and trying to be as fast as possible, because in the end, I'm pretty sure both of us like to win, and the team as well. So in the end, it's all about to get the result there, and then working together is the best way, I think. So yeah, and then obviously you like to be fastest, but as long as we win, it's no problem if I'm P2 within the team.
Good stuff. So testing, is that all done and dusted now? Have you got any? What do the next few weeks look like, other than obviously a lot of media stuff?
Yeah, now some media, some traveling, some quarantine. So that's next on the schedule. So testing is done. We got the 2 days of testing. We got one day before we went to the official testing, but then obviously you are not allowed to drive with full power. So just a little bit of a shakedown, let's say. And yeah, from that we have done the 2 days, the official test days that all the teams have done together with 100% power. And then yeah, we send the cars on the boat. So the cars has been on the boat for now for a couple of weeks. So now it's only push-ups and running what we can do to prepare ourselves for the race.
Good stuff. I think that's everything that I had in mind to ask. Well, actually, yeah, on the training side of things, obviously, the last year being what it is, how have you managed to do? Have you managed to do anything else, sort of to prepare yourself for this year?
In terms of driving, I've done Arctic Rally in the WRC 3 class. So I drove the Polo R5 up in Arctic a couple of weeks ago, just to get some driving and do something during winter. I always try to do some rallying. So that's good preparation to get back into competition mode and to get that switched on. So yeah, that's what I've done. And since before that, there was the last race I did was Barcelona in the WRX final. So it's been a couple of weeks now, and months actually, since been competing against the others. So looking forward to some traffic now.
Good stuff. Good. And have you got any predictions? Obviously, it's a big unknown, and you're going to want to win. Do you have any idea of where you may come out after the first race, after the season?
After seasons, definitely not. But after the first race, also, I mean, it's very difficult to predict. Yeah. I think no one can really predict it. And I think what's going to be important is just to try to gather as much information as possible during the first race weekend, and trying to avoid mistakes, and maybe not getting too greedy on the first race weekend, but trying to collect some points and gather informations and limitation the mistakes, and then let's see where that's going to take us.
Good stuff. Okay. Look, Johan, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming and having a chat with me. Good luck for the season, and hopefully we'll be able to speak to you after the first race or something like that. See how you're getting on.
Yeah, thank you very much. No
Good
worries.
Stuff. Thanks a lot.